All right, we're back. Hey, welcome to another edition of the Simple Live virtual cooking class. Welcome everyone, and hope you're having a good holiday season. Hope you had a nice Christmas. It's New Year's Eve right now, so uh, we're gonna close it out. Last video of the year, you could call it that. Let me see. All right. So my name's Chef Brian Curley, and today I'm gonna do a live step-by-step breakdown of another high protein dish that I created recently. It's a delicious, healthy entree that I want you to learn how to cook at home, and I think you're going to love it. And then after that, I want to share a special offer I created to give you the tools you need right at your fingertips to reach the full potential of your cooking abilities, without going to culinary school or slaving away for years in restaurants like I did. But first, let's talk real quick about what Simple is, how you can use it to break the cycle of unhealthy eating choices. Now, I have a different approach to meal prep than most people who work in fitness. I've been a chef here in San Diego for many years, running season catering. And in that time, I've tested hundreds of recipes using healthy ingredients that my customers enjoy. Now, I've heard a lot of misconceptions about what healthy meal prep is. Many people think that deciding to eat nutritious foods means giving up the foods with the flavors that they crave. And there's this notion that if you're going to live a healthy lifestyle, then your eating options are going to go downhill. But I've done this long enough to know that that's just not the case. I eat all the food that I cook, all these recipes you've seen me make, all the videos. I'm eating all of that. So I'm in the trenches. My meal prep is the foundation for staying healthy, and it has been for my whole life, ever since I learned how to cook. After cooking professionally for 21 years, I found that you don't need a lot of sugar and fat to cook food that you get excited to eat. You really just need to practice the techniques that chefs have been using for hundreds of years to transform raw ingredients into the mouthwatering dishes that you look forward to eating. So let's get into it. I'm going to share my screen here, and then I'm going to show you this dish called beef gyros from the streets. So let's go to YouTube here. Where are we? There we go. And we're going to pull this up here. I might give you a little backstory on this dish here before I get going on it. Let's go to the beginning. All right, so this dish is called beef gyros from the streets. And the reason why it's called from the streets is because uh, the inspiration for creating this dish was from a long time ago when I lived in New York City. There's a there's a food cart, a food stall called the Halal Guys Food Cart. And I'm going to tell you why this is extra interesting. But I used to go to this, every so often, like every week or so. I think I went here, especially when it was cold, and I loved it because the food is so delicious. It was so filling, so flavorful, and it was the kind of place that wasn't afraid to use bold flavors and really just kind of knock your socks off with flavor. Spicy, rich, filling. It's just the kind of thing that really hit the spot after a long day at work, and I got a lot of happy memories from that. But anyways, it's especially interesting because you may have heard recently in the news that there was a shooting in New York where the CEO of United Health got murdered, and the place where he got murdered at the Hilton Hotel on 6th Avenue and 52nd Street, strangely enough, I just realized this half an hour ago before I came online. That is the exact location where the Halal Guy's food cart was 12 years ago. For all I know, it might still be there. Uh, Really strange coincidence, and it has nothing to do with cooking, but I just had to mention it because it got my attention. Anyways, let's crack into this dish. I'm going to show you the step-by-step process of how to make this dish, beef gyros from the streets. Ah, 1 second. That was the narration from the recording, but we're not going to use that. What we're going to do is instead is we're going to watch the video together, and I'm going to narrate it step by step. So this dish uses ground beef, and most gyros dishes use lamb. Lamb has a pretty high fat content. I chose to use ground beef for this instead, give you a better ratio of protein to fat. So the ground beef goes in the mixing bowl, and then we're going to start adding a few more ingredients to mix it together to make the essentially it's similar to a meatloaf that's going to go in a baking pan. We're going to roast it in the oven. We're going to preheat our oven to 375, and I'll show you the steps here. So our ground beef goes in the pan in the bowl with eggs and panko breadcrumbs, some diced onion, marjoram, oregano, and salt and pepper and garlic. And I'm gonna get in here with my hands and I'm gonna mix it up really well. But not too well though. You don't want to overmix this. Usually the mixing process for something like this, especially a small batch, is going to be between 1 and 2 minutes, just enough to get all the ingredients incorporated. Then we have our loaf pan. I'm using a bread loaf pan, which works great for this. A metal pan, and the meat. Oh, I'm gonna oil the pan first so the meat doesn't stick to it. And then the meat goes right in there. I'm gonna kind of stuff it in there until it fills the pan. I'm gonna put it on a sheet pan, and it's gonna go right in the oven. I'm gonna cook it at 375 degrees. It's gonna take about an hour, maybe slightly more. And that's how it's gonna look when it comes out of the oven. You're gonna cook it to about 140 degrees to get it to, I'd say that's gonna give it to about medium, cooked medium. If you like it cooked less than that, you can cook it a bit less, but 140 is usually what I shoot for. And then once it comes out of the oven, it's gonna carry over cook for a while. It's gonna get up to about 160. So we're gonna set that aside and let it rest for a while until it's nice and cool. Another trick I've learned is after it sits outside for about 30 minutes, you can toss it in the refrigerator for another 2 or 3 hours. And once it's cool, it's going to be much easier and even to slice. Next step. This is bulgur wheat. We're going to add this bulgur wheat to a small bowl and add some water to it. So bulgur is essentially like cracked wheat, and it needs to be rehydrated before you use it, but it doesn't need to be cooked. And so for this method, we're going to make a tabouli, and all we have to do for the bulgur wheat is just rehydrate it with some water and let it sit. It's going to absorb all that water. And then we're going to get another mixing bowl. We're going to put the bulgur in there with a lot of chopped parsley, some lemon juice, diced tomato, sliced scallions, some olive oil, romaine lettuce, sliced cucumbers, and salt. We're going to mix that right up. And this is a very easy, healthy side dish to make. It's called tabouli. It's a Mediterranean salad, and it's going to serve as our side dish for this week for this dish. Next, we're going to make our sauce. This is a cucumber yogurt sauce, very simple. The Greek yogurt, diced cucumber, olive oil, lemon juice, garlic, salt. I like this sauce because it's easy. You don't have to cook it. You simply just blend the ingredients in there. What I did for this one is I added half of the yogurt at the start. I'm going to blend it with all those ingredients, and then I'm going to add the rest of the yogurt at the end. And you might wonder, like, why don't you just add it all at once? That's what I used to think too. And then I've made this enough times to realize that if you puree it with all the yogurt in it, very often what happens is it becomes like a watery texture. I don't know the exact chemical breakdown of what's going on, but I know that if you add half of the yogurt, blend it with all the ingredients, and then you fold in the other half of the yogurt, you get a much thicker, nicer yogurty consistency. And that's what I do for this cucumber yogurt sauce. We're gonna whisk it up And then I'm going to portion it out into portion cups. Put lids on them. Go back here real quick. Reason I like to do sometimes sauce on the side for these dishes is because I've noticed that sometimes the texture of the overall finished dish turns out nicer if you add the sauce after you reheat the dish. So if there's a meat and a starch and a vegetable component and it's refrigerated and it has sauce, I'm going to reheat the meat, sauce, and vegetable in the container. And then once it's hot, very often I'll just pour the sauce over it. This sauce is best served cold. So you're going to see how it looks in the end. So we got our meat here, the gyros. It's ready to go. It's cooled. It's perfectly cooked. We're going to start slicing it. I'm going to slice it first down the middle, lengthwise. And then I'm going to very thinly slice it across the length of it. And this is going to give us enough sliced meat ready to go for 5 portions. So all our components are ready to plate now. We're going to start plating the meat first. Just kind of like crumbly. You don't want it to crumble. You just want to keep it as intact as possible in its sliced form. And then once the meat is in the meal prep containers, I'm going to add the tabouli alongside it. And I'll finish portioning it with 1 sauce portion for each. And now for reheating this dish, since we're serving it with tabouli, which is a salad, which is best served cold, what I'm going to do is when I reheat it, I'm only going to reheat the meat. Only the gyros meat gets reheated. It tastes great when it's hot, served alongside this cooled tabouli salad with the cool cucumber yogurt sauce. So the meat gets reheated hot, the others stay cold. That's the best way to eat this. And you're done. There you have it. Beef gyros from the streets with Mediterranean tabouli and cucumber yogurt sauce. All right. So we're done with that. I'll bring it back to the main part here. So here we are. Like I said, recording this on New Year's Eve. And I mean, hey, what better time to decide to take back your nutrition in your own hands? I mean, unless you can afford a personal chef, you're going to be at the mercy of whatever is convenient, whatever you're craving when it comes to lunch and dinner. But when you know how to cook like a chef using real nutritious ingredients, basically you can take back your power from the corrupt food industry and take yourself out, just remove yourself from the food system that clearly doesn't serve us. So, and that's exactly what you'll learn how to do when you become a Simple Insider. When you become a premium member of Simple for just $19 a month, you're not getting a cookbook that you'll read once and just leave on a shelf to collect dust. You're getting a set of online tools to become nutritionally self-reliant so you can permanently end junk food cravings and quit sabotaging your metabolism. So head over to my website right now, click on the premium membership, get a head start on supporting your health naturally in 2025. I'll put a link to that in the description for this video. Now, when you become an insider, basically you're going to be like light years ahead of almost everyone at the gym when it comes to supporting your body's nutritional needs. So here's what you're going to get. Now, each week, you'll get a written breakdown of a new high protein dish that I create and share with my readers. Each week, I go into detail about a subject that's going to help you become a more skilled, confident cook. And that's a bit available to all my readers, the free subscribers and the insiders. But the simple, oh, wait, sorry. But I save the most important info for the paid subscribers to Simple. The Simple Insider section is where you get the full step-by-step written recipe, which includes the ingredients and quantities you need. So your dish comes out perfect. No extra guesswork. Now, after I shoot the video of me cooking this dish every week, I taste it. I adjust the quantities of the ingredients. So when you make the dish at home, you're getting the tested version of this dish, which is more accurate, tastes better. So when you make the dish at home, it's going to turn out perfectly if you follow the written directions that you get. You're also going to get the full-length video that's unlisted on YouTube. So only Simple Insiders have the link. Watch each step on your phone while you're cooking it, so your version looks the same as mine. You're going to get the links to buy all the ingredients online through Amazon Fresh. So you can save like an hour of shopping and just get all the ingredients delivered. It's a huge plus. And that way you don't have to drive to the store, push a shopping cart, check out in line, and deal with all that hassle. You can save a ton of time just by skipping the shopping trip. And in addition to that, I know I packed a lot of stuff on here, but it's all to help you cook better. In addition to that, you're going to get a free resource that's going to show you how to use a chef's knife safely and precisely so that you can cut with confidence. It's a video I made called Knife Skills Mastery. And once you practice the skills in this video, you're going to basically feel like a professional in the kitchen. You're going to have a huge leg up. You're also going to get access to my weekly Q&A session every Tuesday right after the virtual cooking class. It's exclusively for Simple Insiders. So you can ask me any question you have about cooking, anything you want. For example, if I didn't explain something well enough in the video or in the recipe, ask me on the weekly Zoom session and I'll do my best to explain it to you. Excuse me. Drinking water here. All right, so here's what I want you to do. If you haven't joined Simple Insider yet, head over to cooksimple.beehive.com/upgrade. So here we are. You see 3 options to subscribe. The free option only includes the basic features, but you'll get all the tools I just described when you choose either the monthly or the annual paid subscription. Now, most people choose the monthly subscription because you get all these features for the first month for free. And if you like this subscription, you can keep it for just $19 a month. If it's not for you, you can just cancel before the month is up and you pay nothing. So, hey, if you've ever thought like, hey, maybe now is that time that I start taking cooking seriously once and for all. Like I said, it's almost 2025, start of the year. Great time. Or, hey, maybe I should do a better job of setting myself up with meals for the week so I'm not asking like what's for dinner every night. Or maybe you've already got a meal prep routine, but you're tired of cooking like the same 3, 4 dishes. I'd encourage you to click the link in the video description and become a Simple Insider today. I get feedback from new members all the time that they're actually excited to eat their own creations now that they're inspired to cook the simple way. So if you're an insider, I'll be opening up the weekly Q&A session right after this, so you can get all your cooking questions answered. Go ahead and exit this meeting and click the link to join the Q&A meeting that was sent in my last email to you. Click that link. And for everyone else, that's all I got for you for this week. I will see you next Tuesday at 3 p.m. Pacific time for the next simple virtual cooking class. Thank you for joining me.